Wow, it's a lot brighter up here than you would think. And we are so excited to be here tonight. We first want to thank the Chambers and the Hodgins for this incredible evening, this incredible weekend. We couldn't be more excited to celebrate with Caroline and George and all of your loved ones.
And can you guys, is this too close? No. We also wanted to say a few things about how much we love Caroline and how much we love George. And over the past couple months, when we were talking about the things we love about Caroline, and there are many, one of the main things that stood out was her creativity and her ability to always think and act outside the box. So we figured how better to celebrate her and George than in poem.
So we have written a little poem here called "'Twas the Night Before the Wedding."
Round 2.
'Twas a night in Winston Salem when all through the town Caroline was single, no hubby to be found.
Her Hanes undies were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that more suitors soon would be there.
Caroline was nestled, all snuggled in her bed, while her family fretted about solutions ahead.
Francie in her kerchief and Tom in his tie-dye cap lay worried in bed, too anxious to nap.
When all of a sudden, what did appear but 176 goldfish from Francie's rear?
Then out on the lawn, there arose such a clatter. Caroline sprang from her bed to see what was the matter.
Away to the window, she ran a mad dash, tore open the shutters, and gave the guests a nice little flash.
The moon on her breast gave a little peep show, gave the luster of midday to the wild beasts below.
When what to her wondering eyes would appear but Officer George and 6 men with beer.
His biceps were bulging, his abs twisted steel. She knew in a moment he must be a Navy SEAL.
More rapid than eagles, his groomsmen they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Sober up, boys. Now Harrison, now Haley, now Bill. On Andy, put down your beer, Andy. On Tom and Will.
From the University of North Carolina to New York City Hall, now dash away, y'all!
So up to the house, the groomsmen they flew, with cases of beer and Officer George too.
Caro listened to the roof as she let out a squeal, hearing the prancing and dancing of each tar heel.
As she drew in her head and was turning around, down the chimney Officer George came with a bound.
He was dressed in his whites, from his head to his foot, clothes pressed, shoes shined, not 1 ounce of soot.
Ribbons and medals were pinned on his rippling chest, and as he looked at Caroline, his heart was possessed.
Her eyes, how they twinkled, her golden hair, shades of yellow, and her breast jiggled as she laughed like a bowl full of Jell-O.
George spoke not a word, but went straight to work, grabbed all of Caro's undies, and turned with a jerk.
With a wink of his eye and a turn of his head, George let her dad know that he had nothing to dread.
As Francie jumped with joy and Tom wiped his brow, they let out a sigh of relief. Caroline was George's problem now.
So, with Caroline on his one arm and a salute in his other, George hugged Annie and Will and gave a kiss to their mother.
He put a ring on Caro's finger and gave his team a whistle, and away they all went like the down of a thistle.
But George heard Cara's dad yell out as their life changed courses, "Hallelujah! Thank you, George. God bless our nation's special forces." To George and Caroline.